Welcome back to Hobby Jogger Elite, and welcome back to the sub 250 build. As you can see, it is late outside, which means I have no more excuses to wait and put off going for my long run today at the time of recording. It is Sunday, December the 31st. Today is New Year's Eve, and this is the second episode I've filmed for the sub 250 build series, coming off of my sub 3-hour build series where I just ran 2:53 several weeks ago for the marathon distance. We are now pursuing the sub 250 mark, and I'll be honest, through the first episode, which I filmed a couple weeks ago at this point, which was the last video I uploaded, and now the second episode I'm filming, the theme, it may not be resonating with what you usually connect with this channel for. Maybe you use this channel or look at it as a source of inspiration, as a source of motivation. You know, I'm just a normal guy chasing down his goals in the midst of his life where he's working full-time, doing almost full-time grad school, all that good stuff. The theme right now is not motivation. I would say it is me sort of dragging myself along by sheer will of my discipline at the moment, because it's hard. It's hard to get up and be excited for some of these runs when, I'm just gonna be honest, the temperature is less than 40 degrees outside. I'm a big reader, you know, I like to read books, I like to play video games, and those things are much more appealing when it is cold outside and when it's not light for very long throughout the day. So it's light outside now. I'm gonna go get after it today. The long run. We got this. We can do this. 2024. It's our year. We don't want the theme of this training block to be a lack of motivation, a lack of enthusiasm and energy, even though I talked in my last video about how that is not what dictates a good training block or a good result. Like enthusiasm, discipline, it's not always going to be there when you're running a marathon, when you're training for a marathon. You know, discipline is that thing that's going to dictate whether things go well or not, whether you build that really good fitness over time or not. I still have plenty of time to do that. I think I've already done that pretty well here. In the initial weeks, I just crested 70 miles for the first time over the course of a week of training last week. Since, you know, my last training block, been building up very steadily, just increasing, 3 or 4 miles per week since sort of dipping my toes back into training in November. So we're getting some good volume in again, definitely starting to feel, those very familiar normal aches and signs of not a ton of residual fatigue, but just, things are starting to accumulate fitness-wise and energy-wise as we're getting into it here. And I still have plenty of time to really get myself to a spot where I feel like I can really attack this goal with a ton of vigor and energy, because I also feel like I'm already in a pretty good spot fitness-wise. I haven't been, missing any paces in these initial workouts that I've been doing when it comes to trying to accomplish that sub 250 goal at the marathon mark. So things are going well so far, all things considered. Again, officially 14 weeks out, technically 13 weeks and 6 days out, I have signed officially up for the Salisbury, Maryland Marathon. I know I talked about doing Jersey City potentially, but Salisbury just kind of made more sense, and I wanted, whether even if it's just an extra week of a gap between when my spring marathon is and when I should start sort of ramping up for the fall marathon, more time in between those two training blocks and goals is great. And I've never really been able to do like, this is my A goal race, this is my B goal race for the year. Whatever I put on my calendar, I don't have the mental capacity to like compartmentalize them into different tiers of taking one more seriously than the other or giving more effort to one as opposed to the other. Like, I just get after it. If I pay for a race, if I sign up for a race, I'm taking all that time to train for it. Like, no matter what I have in me, I'm going to give all of it towards whatever race is next on the calendar. And I feel like just for physical recovery, mental recovery, having that little bit of extra time between training blocks and races, you know, I definitely benefit from that. So excited to do that. We have another long run on our hands today to continue building. And, you know, as we're steadily increasing the mileage, it's kind of similar to the taper. You don't want to decrease your intensity, your volume, your density of reps and workouts all at once during the taper, or else you might feel a little weird. If you increase all of those things at the same time while you're increasing mileage, at least in my own experience, when I have increased all of those things at the same time, that's when I usually see like small, just like discomforts, injuries pop up, or I just feel like that wave of fatigue hit me a bit harder all at once. So today is just going to kind of be, if I feel good enough to sort of hit steady towards the end of the run or even marathon pace, then I will. Otherwise, we're just kind of getting the volume in today when it comes to the long run. I've done long run workouts for every single long run so far. One of them was a progression run, which I don't feel like is a full workout, but I did end it at like goal marathon pace or goal marathon effort. So yeah, today we're just kind of getting in the volume. It's going to be an easy to steady long run, probably in the ballpark of 18 or 19 miles. And again, if in the last couple miles I'm feeling like I have a ton of energy, then we're going to really get after it. I'm going to try to take this as an opportunity to continue to acclimate my stomach more and more, getting used to taking in nutrition on these runs, because you take a break, you just don't kind of do that, and your stomach kind of forgets how to handle all those carbs and everything. So we're getting in Humagels, we're getting in some drink mix, and we're getting in some Stormlight Archive for today's long run. About 4 miles into it, clicking away at around 7 flat pace, nice and steady, not much else to report on. It's like actually perfect outside, so forget everything I said about the weather earlier, because if I could have this weather for every long run and every race, I totally would. So just gonna keep pushing along here, keep it smooth, steady, and controlled. Take my first gel here. Just hit the 10-mile mark. Officially 2 gels down. About half of this Morton mix, which I still don't like very much, but I paid for it, so I'm gonna drink it. But we're currently running about 6:45 pace per mile. A couple ticks faster than sub-3 marathon pace. Yeah, just feeling smooth and comfy. Gonna turn around in about a mile, so that I hit around 18 by the time I get back to the car. And yeah, if I feel good, I might tighten it a couple notches and speed up a bit, but for now this feels pretty good. So 10 miles in, we're cruising. All right, 16 miles into this. Just cut off the progression there. Just gonna easy cool down back to the car. 2 miles now, but ended up feeling all right. Went into this run intending to just run easy or steady for 18 miles. Ended up having a nice little gentle progression from around 7:10, mile 2, mile 3, down to about 6:30 a mile there on mile 16. So not quite up to marathon effort, marathon pace. Definitely had quite a bit left in the tank to tighten the screws a little bit and go a little bit faster, but I didn't want to push it too much. Got a pretty busy week coming up. Don't want to bury myself with a ton of huge tough workouts this far out. from the race when I've, so much in front of me still. So still a great day. Gonna cool down here, catch up afterwards. Got some BPN protein going on here. Ooh, it's always the most spoke too soon. Only minor spillage. It's always the most nerve-wracking part, getting that into the old shaker. But it seems like everyone and their mom has a BPN partnership at this point. I do not. But they make good protein. It's a bit expensive. But yeah, if you need to shake up your protein flavor, highly recommend their, I think it's called like Nutter Bar Blast or something like that. Tastes like peanut butter, like a peanut butter cookie, almost like a Nutter Butter maybe. Some of the best protein I've had in recent memory. Yeah, besides that, solid long run there. Cannot complain with that one. 18 miles on the dot to finish out the week, to finish out the year. That was the final run of the year. No better way to end a year than have a long run on New Year's Eve, the last day of the year. So looks like it was 2 hours, 6 minutes, 2 seconds, 7-minute flat average pace per mile, 146 beats per minute on average, so pretty decent. Just a nice gentle progression out on the trails. Based on the splits here from the watch, looks like started out at about 7:42 on mile 1, 7:20 on mile 2, 7:15 on mile 3, and then from mile 4 to mile 16 worked down from 7:05 to 6:33 per mile, and then cooled down 2 miles to 18 total on the day, which puts me at, I think, a little over 73 for the week. So 13 weeks in 6 days, effectively 14 weeks from race day, sitting at 73 miles per week right now. Pretty happy with that kind of volume early on. Feeling good. Glad I got this one done today. It's been a great year. By the time you see this, it will already be 2024, but yeah, thank you all for an amazing year here on the channel. Definitely is a lot more in terms of support and just like the general following and the community that has developed on this channel. It has grown more and has become more than I ever anticipated, and I can't be more thankful for that support and just like the engagement and like genuine, fun, meaningful connections we have made here. So thank you all for a really fun, fulfilling 2023 and being a part of that and just following along with me documenting, all of this, and hopefully 2024 has plenty of great stuff in store for us. So again, this is coming out the week after New Year's, but Happy New Year, happy holidays to all of you. Thank you again for an amazing 2023, and we'll catch up next time. All right, onward. Peace.